This is Dan Jurgens, and if you want to have a good time, keep listening to the Krypton Report.
Jason J. Lewis, the voice of Superman on Justice League Action, and you're listening to the Krypton Report.
Hi, this is David Patrick Wilson. I played Superman, Clark Kent, in the television production of It's a Bird, It's a Plane, enjoying every minute of being right here on the Krypton Report.
Look up in the sky, the birds, the plane.
Welcome to the Krypton Report podcast. I'm your host, Tyler, the Superman of Blue, and with me is my partner in crime, the Superman of Red, Mr. James Cole. What's up, James?
Hey, what's up, Tyler?
Oh, man. So, all right. Funny story for everybody. This week's been really busy, like with me for work and everything, and James and I were going to record Wednesday. No. Wait,
Tuesday.
Tuesday. And I said, James, I'm really tired, man. Janine and I have been chilling, catching up, watching Daredevil. Let's just record Wednesday. He's like, sure. And then yesterday I got home late. I had a funeral to attend to, and I was making dinner. And I was like, my dinner's not going to be ready in time. I was like, I hate to do this, but let's do it Thursday. He said, sure. Well,
I'm pretty flexible like that.
yeah, James like that. Don't ever let him put himself down. But we had news, but man, they released the 4 minutes and 50 seconds Superman preview. DC just dropped it randomly.
Yeah, extended preview trailer. Yeah,
it was like almost 5 o'clock here. It was about 5 o'clock here when it dropped. And it was just like all of a sudden I looked at my phone and said DC Superman preview. I was like, what? Clicked on it. I thought it was just gonna be like a highlight for the preview or something. So I thought they were using this to help make people go see Minecraft, you know?
Right.
And then started playing. It was like 4:50. I was like, whoa. I said, family, to the TV room. To the living room.
to the living room.
And
watch
like,
this
what?
on the biggest screen possible.
Exactly. We're going to the TV.
If we're not at Minecraft watching it, might as well watch it on the TV.
I know it just saved me like some money because I was like, the kids were like, it was birthdays this weekend, and they're like, we want to go see Minecraft, and I'm like, So, but then this happened. I was like, sweet.
It's got Jack Black and Jason Momoa. It should be funny.
I mean, I think I would enjoy it enough. You know, I think the kids would like it. So, but
yeah,
I
think kids are gonna like it more.
But okay, so we're gonna get into some news stuff here, and then we're gonna talk about the 5-minute preview, and then we're gonna talk about our regular stuff, which is the theme of this episode is Superman on TV.
Superman on TV.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, there we go. Pull this up. I'm still getting used to some of this new fangled ways we got to do some things, but hey, gotta do what we gotta do. All right, we're gonna start. All this is just random, so we'll start with the sad news. We lost Val Kilmer, Batman from Batman Forever, and the actor who played Dennis Ardent, who played Sam Lane in season 1 episode of Lois and Clark, Requiem for a Superhero. He passed away. So we lost 2 DC legacy actors this past week. So rest in peace, my friends. Rest in peace.
Oh man, yeah. I didn't see the Sam Lane actor today or anything, but I absolutely saw the Val Kilmer one.
There was
a lot of dearly departed memes made out of many of his beloved characters.
Yeah, Batman's the one I've seen the most. Of course, Iceman was a big one.
Yep, Doc Holliday.
That's my all-time favorite Val Kilmer performance.
Oh, he killed it as Doc Holliday in Tombstone. Oh my god.
To me, because that movie came out, you had Doc Holliday, or you had Tombstone, you had Wyatt Earp. I think Tombstone's a better movie. All-around cast is better. And I love the cast, but him as Doc Holliday is what makes that movie. I just love the dialogue in Wyatt Earp when he's like, I don't got very many friends. So
I'm due for a watch of Tombstone. It's been a couple of years,
Okay.
maybe 3 or 4 years since I watched it last. Well, probably
Well-
before I moved in here, so at least 4 years, I think.
I don't know the last time I watched it, so let's just watch it together and then go from there.
Yeah, when come visit in July.
Yeah. So rest in peace. Here's a cool picture of Selah. We found this shop, and those are all just randomly sorted long boxes. This shop was like a hallway, just stuff full of comics and DVDs. But I was like, holy crap, me and Selah found all these boxes, and I was like, it would take all day.
You can spend forever just looking through those.
What, baby? No, that was me and you in Lancaster that day.
Oh yeah, right. So,
Yeah, so I just wanted to share that. Let's see some other shopping news, just random quick stuff. Things I found. They have some kids underwear. I should have bought these, but I didn't because I wanted to make sure my kids would wear them, and I wasn't forcing them to wear something they didn't want. Salah's mad at me. I didn't, but Superman underwear, and it's funny because look at this Superman, like the Superman Reborn costume that we love so much, is on so much of their marketing and merchandising right now, like the Old Spice soap and everything.
yeah.
But then you look at the actual Superman, it's like a traditional Superman on the boxers. So it's just kind of interesting. But those are at your local Walmart. Found this at Target.
Oh, nah.
Little Superman Squishmallow.
I will take that.
Nice.
I will take that.
And let's see, I found, what else did I find at Target? I don't know. I take pictures of everything just to share when I find cool stuff.
Oh, show me.
I'm getting there. But this
Oh, that's
little
cool.
Toonie figure.
Yeah, we get most of these in the chat, you know.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but
And then this pot figure was cool. Yeah, I'm always on the prowl looking for stuff. So that was pretty cool stuff I found out in the wild. All right. Some of this news is going to be kind of random because I don't get a chance to organize it like as much as I usually like to do. But this was a sneak peek of the new Superman Hallmark ornament that we'll be owning this year.
Yep. And we'll put that instead of the other one. And then
We will have that as the kids
oh, nice.
put that on our
It's definitely a
special.
Linda Carter.
Oh yeah, that's a classic Linda Carter right there.
Yeah, that's a classic Linda Carter and David Cornsweat.
that's pretty cool.
So that is pretty sweet. Okay, so we're gonna get into a little McFarlane.
Man, Christmas ornaments to get this year.
So-
I want that.
So I wanted this Page Puncher right here, Supergirl figure. It sold out so ridiculously fast.
It's the woman of tomorrow.
I know. I just like the look. Selah likes it too.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So I'm still gonna try to order it.
That picture.
So, and then McFarlane's releasing this crazy looking thing.
Yeah, Todd's Mods. Yeah.
It's only like 4 inches, and I was like, it's like 14
Oh,
bucks.
really? I thought it was bigger.
Big
Yeah.
show.
It was. I was like, okay, that if it was bigger, it would be different. But yeah, the Todd's Mods. Here's some upcoming figures that were released during a recent McFarlane show. Like, we're getting the Eradicator
Oh, nice.
in a 7-inch.
That's
We're
pretty
getting
awesome.
classic Bizarro.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we're getting Cyborg Superman,
I want that.
Ooh, awesome. A classic Hank Henshaw.
and then classic Return Superboy.
I want Superman.
From Return of Superman.
So all those are coming soon from McFarlane. I think I got them all. There's all kinds of stuff. But then we got this was teased, just DC Studios Superman McFarlane toys. Just that. They didn't give us any more.
Ah, no figures. They don't want to spoil the villain on that figure, I bet.
Well, I think they should just show us and release just Superman by himself early. You know what I'm saying? And then
Oh, yeah.
and then like show the others. But they did show this. We're going to get a Batman Returns line.
Oh, that's awesome. I love
With-
that there's Christopher Walken Shrek on there.
Right.
It's great.
Catwoman, the Penguin, Batman.
You got to get a Danny DeVito Penguin
I know.
and a Christopher Walken Shrek and a Michelle Pfeiffer. I mean, come on.
And then they released. Oh wait, no, they released the Silver Age Superman, and it sold out ridiculously fast. So I didn't get to pre-order that like I wanted to. Let's see here. So this got announced on Amazon. It's the Adventures of Superman complete series, but just on DVD, being released in May.
That's expensive.
Not really, baby. That's
I
first.
saw a Blu-ray of. I thought I saw an advert or
We were supposed to get a Blu-ray. We saw talk about. Oops.
yeah, didn't we talk about it? A Blu-ray
Yeah.
complete set of that and
Lois
what
and
was
Clark.
the other one? Lois
supposed
and
to be
Clark.
Lois-
Yeah, both
And-
of them on Blu-ray.
And they haven't shown it yet.
Show that picture of me.
I'm going
Oh.
to. That's the last one. Okay. So this is an upcoming T-shirt that was being. I would love to have this T-shirt. I'm
I would too.
gonna find it for the children.
Yeah.
So
Hey, that's
just
fine.
keep trying to keep my eye on merchandise.
I like that.
This was released of upcoming Superman merchandise.
What is that? All that? Like a bag, a hat, a shirt.
That's the back of the shirt. And then I want to know more about what this charging looking port thing is here.
And that's a cup.
Yep.
I don't like that.
Okay, let's see what else we got here. We have a new DC has announced DC High Volume Batman, a weekly audio drama podcast that will adapt stories from across Batman's history. The series launches April 2nd in collaboration with Realm and will begin a 4-part adaptation of Batman Year One.
Oh, yesterday.
It is yesterday, so I need to see if I can find this thing. It is
That'll
says
be interesting. Yeah.
so. I wonder if it's on Spotify.
Going to look myself.
Yep. So everybody pull up their Spotify
Oh, wow.
because I was big on like when they were doing those
Oh, wow.
audio dramas.
Wow.
But I like that it's coming like officially. You know?
Oh, I love this thing. That
Yep.
You have for my signature.
Okay, let's see here. Sailor, your mom says go to bed. Yep, there it is.
Yes, sir.
So I
3 chapters out.
wonder if it's gonna be date day or something. It says weekly, but interesting. Right, well,
Or it
Yeah.
looks like they dropped the first 3.
So that'll be exciting to kind of keep up with. All right, what else we got here? Like I said, Superman the World, a celebrated lineup of international stories. Will pay tribute to Superman. It's being released on hardcover collection. And since his origin, Superman has become a symbol of truth and justice, a true worldwide pop culture icon. Today, DC announced talent and story details of Superman the World, a 208-page hardcover collecting original stories celebrating the Superman. It'll be released Wednesday, June 25th. So they've done kind of these things with a few other characters. And what's interesting is they've released these, but a lot of times they've dropped the digital versions on the app if you have Ultra. So interesting.
Yeah, some of the specials, some of the monthly specials are different things. They come out release date on Ultra.
All right, let's see what else we got. Superman. The goal for the Siegel and Schuster Society's 2.2 million historical Superman Plaza is 70% there, and they only need 660,000 to finish the job. So that's awesome. They are making headway, bringing Superman home. And every year I help contribute by renewing my license plate. So, all right. So I said not to get rid of this. All right. So I'm trying to organize some stuff. This makes no sense. Okay. Six Flags Magic Mountain announces permanent closure of Superman Escape from Krypton, the coaster.
Oh, that's sad. I never got to go there and ride that. I
What's
always wanted to.
crazy is I started looking at where the nearest Six Flags was, and I was like, man, maybe I could swing it this summer and ride the Krypton, like, because this is really the summer of Superman, like, not only because we're going to the movie, but like we're going to Metropolis, and then we're directing the play. And then like 2 days later, this pops up. And it doesn't really give us a great exploring, but I feel like if I was DC and everything, anything with Superman right now, I would be pushing. So like this right here, I would not want this coaster to close. I wouldn't, because
there's licensing as well as like the age and maintenance, upkeep, that type of stuff. I mean,
I would build a new one. That's just, I don't know, like it's something awesome about like Escape from Krypton. Like make it a new thrill ride, because I think Escape from Krypton would be awesome if you're, instead of just a coaster, like if it's one of those like almost like a stunt show thing where like you start off and you're kind of like floating and you're in Krypton's orbit, then you start to go like through the core of the planet as it's exploding, and you're in Kal-El's rocket type thing trying to escape as it's blowing up. One of those like inside kind of like coaster attractions. There you go,
an
DC.
inside or interactive, like the Millennium Falcon game or something that they have at or ride that they have at Galaxy's Edge or something.
So CinemaCon was this past weekend, and there's been a lot of news trickle, and it was tough because a lot of this was coming out on April 1st, and I tried to sift through and find what was legit and what wasn't. So I think I got everything, but there was a brief showing of some footage of Dynamic Duo, and those in attendance said the footage looks stunning. Not a whole lot, but I'm really interested in what that movie's going to look like and feel like.
Yeah, stunning though. That's an interesting word.
Well, there was if you look up, there was a demonstration showing like with their technology, they would recreate a small scene of Hogarth from the Iron Giant and what he would look like in their technology. And it was pretty cool. Hear this. Mark Waid says writing the new history of the DC Universe book is a dream project. This is my dream project. It's a chance to realign all of DC's sprawling continuity into one master timeline and to be joined by some of comics' greatest artists to make it shine. With new information for even longtime fans, plus Easter eggs galore, this series will be an essential read for DC fans. I'm looking forward to that too, because just from when we started this podcast 10 years ago, all the changes and crises and
continuity changes.
Yes.
Once what was once no longer canon has become canon again, and so how it all is supposed to fit together. And there is some interesting things. It's interesting when you listen to people, and I know you've done some of it and stuff, like kind of making your own timelines, and fitting in the major events and how long that it would take place over,
Me and Brian were going to do
more
that.
Interesting how like within the White Knight universe expressly, not only, but expressly, they talk about how decades of time has passed, but it's just like the longevity, whereas decades is like maybe years to us, kind of a thing,
Yeah.
Comic book realm, kind of making a sense of time passing, even if it's an elongated timeline,
I mean, it's just pretty crazy because there's so many like I said, there's so many things that we just started from the New 52 and move forward. What all would be, So it's going to be interesting. So can't wait to read it. And Mark, good luck. So here's some promo art that came out for Superman.
Look up.
It's all pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. And then here's some quotes here. James Gunn tells us how Superman will begin. He is starting to become successful at both jobs in the big glitzy city so far away from home. He's madly in love with a woman who isn't so sure about him, and he's made a few superhuman friends who like him but think of him as naive. All these new elements in his life have unbalanced him a bit, and he's tottering where we are. He's tottering. We're going to see where he lands in terms of his values and choices. All right, so that's one quote here. All right, hold on. I'm trying to find all the right order. This is a movie that celebrates kindness and love, James Gunn says of Superman, and how it explores the human condition. All right, sounds good. James Gunn teases a pocket universe or pocket universes in Superman while discussing the movie on stage at CinemaCon. All right.
Interesting.
We know that he's
that
highly
one there.
Yeah, we know he's highly influenced by All-Star. And someone pointed out online that we've already had pocket universes in Peacemaker, because technically his father's like Arsenal hideout was a pocket universe. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I didn't think about that, but yeah. We'll come to that.
Yeah,
back.
that's something. I was more thinking like groupings that he will come to interact with, you know, different places that can be different places within where Superman explores, because obviously he's worldwide, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's able to make connections with people all over the place where they have their own pocket, their own corner to explore and work with, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's lanterns, whether it's Batman, whether it's mystical or multiversal, you know.
Yes, sir.
That's where my head went.
That's where my head went originally until someone pointed out the Peacemaker thing. Then I was like, oh, okay. And then I thought more about All-Star, and I was like, okay. See Superman extended preview in theaters with the Minecraft movie. And like we said, I thought that was going to be like, I thought they would release it online like Monday or Tuesday of next week after like the opening weekend for Minecraft.
Right.
But we'll get into that more in a minute. All right. Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner will officially return in DC Studios Lanterns. And that was from EW, so I believe it to be true. So I saw it on Entertainment Weeklies, and it makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That came out on the 1st though, too. So
everything for DC came out on the 1st. That's why I'm saying, because that's the Warner Brothers panel was. That's why I was like, I was going through stuff, and I'm like, okay, all right, we'll see what's real, what's not. And then last but not least, here's a
I
little
hope
tease.
that's real.
Oh, what's this? Oh no, what is this? Who's that awkward looking guy with a cape?
With a brand new style cape.
Oh no!
Bet you love it because it's got the S on the back.
I loved it. I love this suit I got. It's weird because I gave them exact measurements of me, but the body jumpsuit's still a little like small and everything. Like so, but yeah, my wife and her mom are gonna adjust some things for me. But yeah, I'm pretty pumped once I get it like tweaked to actually wear it out.
Awesome.
So the next thing is this. We're going to talk about this was I had originally to go over the footage, but we've seen the footage. Now they set the 5-minute preview, okay? And yes, it's only 4 minutes and 50 seconds, but I've heard people report who saw it at CinemaCon that there was a part where he talks and addresses Lois Lane while he's being interviewed. And I'm wondering if that was cut. You know, like if what they put online is a little bit shorter than what they showed at CinemaCon.
Right. Give the people in attendance a little more than what they give the public.
So, yeah, because I've watched it now. Now, if you are able to, good listeners, go to Warner Brothers or DC's website, pull up the sneak peek. James and I are going to play it, and we're going to talk through it. Okay? All right, ready, James?
Yeah, I'm ready.
We're going to do 1, 2, 3, play. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, play. We see the DC.
Yep. Wind howling and ice and stuff and snow in the Arctic.
So there's him crashing.
Yep. Pretty much what we saw before.
Yeah, it's like I was trying to explain to the kids. Sales, like, we've already seen this. I said no, but Sales like, watch. It's longer and it's more of a scene. We're not cutting away like we were before. It's like the full on shot, panning down him laying there in the ice, bleeding, wheezing, trying to whistle. What's so interesting about this scene, okay, is it's so heavy and like heart wrenching, almost like he's hurt and he's busted, and we see Crypto coming.
Yeah. Well, the great thing is the scene itself where we go, like it.
But I mean, like, but it's crazy.
Tells us why.
Yeah, but I'm like, Crypto jumps on him, like, play. You know what I'm saying? Like
And he's hurt.
He's already hurt, and he's like screaming, and he's yelling, "Stop, stop!" And I'm like, man, it's a dog. As a dog owner, like I relate to this, like
right.
But at the same time, like it just like changes the tone of the scene. It's all serious and him hurt, and then it's funny and him hurt. And you're just like, it does the take me home, and then there we get the, it's just like I said, it's just little bits more here. Like,
and for whatever reason, that seems like very James Gunn, like him jumping on him while he's hurt and being all excited as a dog, but it's just an excited dog too.
Yeah.
And if you've ever owned a dog, you know what that's like and what that means.
And then we hear more of the score, and I like it. It sounds good.
Yeah, and then the fortress coming out of the ice. I think that's amazing that it doesn't just stand there, that it comes out of the ice. And I love how they did a mixture of the ice, like the crystals protruding like the Donner fortress, but then you've got a large metal door, lights. When you go inside, it's not just crystal. There is at least desks and things. I'm sure there's going to be a bit of furniture and everything. There's desks and computers.
We see another door.
Doors.
There's another door to the left when they go in. We see there are 4 robots come out, and
they're all numbered a lot. Like that's straight out of All-Star.
But I mean, that's straight up Alan Tudyk as Robot 4.
Oh, is it?
Just listen.
Merely automatons.
You can hear his rhetoric. I mean, I've heard and seen enough with him to know.
He looked and then, like, at me.
I love damage to bladder, kidney, large intestines, lungs,
and 14 fractured bones. Like,
and this is cool. Like the fortress turns.
Yeah, to face the sun, and they have giant magnifying glasses 292 times.
And they're just shooting him into where it's like rapid healing that it hurts him. He's screaming as the robots are holding him down.
Yeah, that's pretty intense of a healing scene.
And then we get like new score again with the Superman theme.
We get a new shot here of Lex extended. He's back. Yep.
We get to hear, and then like just a little bit more of the kaiju fire on him, a little bit more of Hawk Girl, like the same scene but just longer, you know?
Yeah.
We see him sit up from the chair while something's going on outside on July 11th.
That's a little bit longer, a little different of a scene.
And then we have the Daily Planet crew that we saw in the teaser for the teaser.
And the scene with Lex with the gun is a little different.
Yeah, because he like spins it, metamorph it a little
Yeah.
bit more. And now we feel for the dying robot.
But we get to see buildings collapsing. You see that in buildings getting knocked over. Like that's what's supposed to happen in Superman kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like the stuff he faces takes down buildings. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So there it is. I liked it. I think what's crazy to me is the scene they chose to use. It just seems so weird. Like the one scene they're going to play out for us is Superman hurt. That's more focused on Krypto. You know, instead of it being like a real heroic type scene for Superman, it's like we're going to show him getting hurt, and it's just interesting.
Well, I know that they're pushing Krypto pretty hard in the marketing.
Oh yeah, they are. I want that collar for my dog Krypto.
Right. That scene, you get to see more of Krypto in it. And then they're talking about just the human connection and things like that. You can see a lot of that in the trailer. There's even almost a connection there with Superman and his robots. Yeah. He greets the robot, giggles, smiles, nods at the robot. It's interesting. When I saw them coming out, as soon as I saw the robots coming out, I was like, well, this is why it's James Gunn. He sold the alien worlds of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. I lost
But can you hear me?
Yeah. You just
okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, he did push it to a point there, where it got ridiculous at times. But like I said, he sold the alien worlds of Guardians of the Galaxy. So selling the fortress with the Superman robots coming up, numbered like we've seen in the past, it's really cool, and it just totally sold it. I was excited to see that as a Superman fan.
So I am pumped. It looks beautiful. I mean, the cinematography for it looks beautiful. So, but
there's a lot going on there because we see. I mean, there's that giant thing flying in the back. There's the kaiju. Of course, the fight on the field. With the person in black. I mean, that's like at least three different antagonists at some point or another.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout this film, and then Lex Luthor. That's 4.
The overarching antagonist.
Yeah. So there's going to be a decent amount in this movie, and there's going to be some action.
So we almost got a new Batman trailer provided by State Farm Insurance. We got Batman versus Bateman. What did you think of the State Farm ad for the Batman?
The villains looked great.
The Batmobile looked great. It was. I heard it described as looked like a Super Bowl teaser that wasn't ready when the Super Bowl aired.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, Joker looks amazing. The bat signal looks good. Our James Gordon looks good.
Yeah, pretty close to yeah. Very reminiscent of your Jeffrey Wright.
I mean, we see a Batmobile drive by. Then we see the Riddler. We see Catwoman. who looks good. I mean,
Bateman's fanny pack.
all of this looks good.
Yeah, I mean all the characters, the villains, Two-Face, even Two-Face looks really cool.
Joker looks awesome. I mean, Two-Face he looks great. It's very animated series like Two-Face. Batman looks cool. Poison Ivy.
Big Bomb. This is feeling much more Batman to me. That Batmobile is kind of cool. It almost has a little bit of a Formula One look.
Yeah. I mean, they put money in this thing. Like, it's not like they just use like an already existing Batmobile. Like, that even looks like its own suit. And it's just crazy because we just did like the ranking of the suits and the Batmobiles and everything last year.
Yeah.
Now we have a new, and technically we have a new Batsuit and Batmobile. Thanks to State Farm.
And that freaking Joker though, dude, he looks so good.
I'm just like, I wish that they would just I don't know, make like weekly little mini episodes of Batman and Batman.
I feel like you could put that Joker in any recognizable Joker outfit and he would fit, you know? Killing Joke.
Right.
You know, pick the three Jokers, you know, anyone from the three Jokers, you know? Like, yeah, it looks great.
So speaking of TV, Harley Quinn has ended. Did you watch all of the season?
I probably have a couple of episodes left. I've watched 6 or 7 episodes.
It's just, I don't know what it is, but it just feels like it's just kind of like running on fumes. Like, it's got some funny parts, not enough King Shark, even though it's set in Metropolis and everything. For the most part, I just felt like it was really just kind of putting out in this season. But Harley Quinn has ended. The last remnants of something that started on DC Universe.
Oh, the old classic DC Universe. I miss the classic DC Universe.
I do too. So in other news too, Ketchup Entertainment has purchased Coyote vs. Acme from Warner Brothers for distribution. The previously quote unquote deleted shelved film. So now people are starting to rise up and demanding Batgirl.
Oh man.
We can only hope. That's all I gotta say. And then here's my last statement, and then we'll talk. But if Superman the movie gets a fast food tie-in, who do you want it to be?
Oh man. You know, you asked this before. I thought I answered at that point, but maybe I didn't.
I put it on Twitter X.
Did you?
X. Now, just for some history, okay? Just for some history. Batman has been part of both Taco Bell and McDonald's. Okay? Superman the Animated Series and Super Pets were part of McDonald's. Okay? I don't see Superman being part of McDonald's, as McDonald's has ties to Disney, and we have, you know, Disney stuff as well as Marvel stuff coming out. But Man of Steel was tied to Hardee's / Carl's Jr., where they had some stuff, and they had a burger and commercial for Hardee's and Carl's Jr. Superman
none of those are near me.
You don't have a Hardee's near you?
No.
I do. I'm a douche. No, I have like one Hardee's near me. I'm lucky I do.
6-hour round trip. Longer.
Superman Returns actually had its tie-in was with Burger King and KFC. Now, I don't know how that all worked back in the past, but yeah, I got images. I knew it was KFC, and there's images of Burger King cups.
They need Happy Meal toys, cool ones, and something like the crystal glasses that they had for the Batman Forever.
Oh my
That's
gosh,
what-
that
that's
made me
what-
so happy.
Whoever needs to do.
Now I'm gonna lean towards Burger King having something for Superman.
I'd say let's have them do Wendy's, but Wendy's toys always suck.
Yeah, they do. Wendy's never had good toys. And
Theirs
the
was
reason
always terrible.
The reason why I'm leaning towards Burger King is because they recently did the DC thing out of nowhere with like the here, I'll grab one.
Oh yeah, those little stand-ups.
Statues.
Yeah.
That me and the kids collected all but Joker. And that's why I'm gonna go with my prediction will be Burger King. I also think Burger King's smarter because it's a more national chain compared to like Hardee's, Carl Jr. I mean, KFC works too, but they're not known for their kids' meals. And like I said, McDonald's is going to be inundated with Disney stuff. So, and I'm not what I want. I'm just saying that's my prediction. But Burger King works because Sayla loves their chicken fries. Janelle and I love their possible sandwiches. And Solomon.
I was going to say they did a Wednesday sandwich too, didn't they?
Yep, I tried that just because I like to be spooky and creepy. But hey, that's just my question. Let us know your thoughts on where you want the fast food to be. But now we're going into the actual topic of today's episode, which is Superman on television. And this is just kind of as we prepare for Superman 2025. We're just kind of looking back in summary and just kind of going through the history of the Man of Steel and talking about the different people and where he's been portrayed and appeared. And I know it's just like it's one of those things that's easy for us to talk about because we do it all the time, but it's worth mentioning. So just to kind of give Superman has had in live action, like I said, all this is live actional reference because we're preparing for the film. Superman has had a nice history of being on television, with technically having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 series. One's kind of a special, so we'll say a made-for-TV movie. And then, of course, a spin-off series. It's Krypton. You know, it wasn't exactly Superman, but it was Superman-based. And then Supergirl, which is its own character, but still connected. It's a pretty good run, considering that Batman has only had Batman 66 and Gotham. So, Superman's had a nice history. James, you're muted, buddy. You're muted.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, and Batman wasn't even a part of that.
Yeah, until the last episode. But we talked about that.
Yeah.
Last year on our Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start. The Adventures of Superman premiered September 19th, 1952, and ran till April 28th, 1958, which is crazy because that's the year my mom was born. My dad was born in 57, so he's already kicking. Superman was played by actor George Reeve. He was born January 5th. Reeves. My stupid typing.
No, that's all right.
No, I'm tired and I can't read. Don't tell people. He was born January 5th, 1914. It's crazy to say. And died June 16th, 1959. The age in which he started was 37 when he started playing Superman. He was 7 years as the Man of Steel, because technically he first appeared as the Man of Steel in 1951 in Superman and the Mole Men. which we talked about.
Yes, sir.
He was 6'1". He did 104 episodes and 6 seasons. Now, what would you give this series out of 5 shields? So instead of stars, we're going shields. What is our ranking for?
Well, I mean, as a series, I can't really speak to it as a whole. I'm actually looking forward to getting the Blu-ray of that series so I can watch it. But I mean, I have seen episodes over the years. I saw episodes when I was a kid, and we've watched a few different things here. So I mean, George Reeves as Superman for the series, Clark Kent and Superman. I do really like him, and I would probably have to give him.
So hold on.
what I've seen,
We're going to give the show a number, and we'll give George. So we'll give the actor.
So, like the show, the series, and the actor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, I can't really wholly speak at the series.
I give it
mean,
4.
I was to say I'll leave that one up to you mostly. But I would say as an actor, I give him a 4.5. I think his Clark is very his Clark is very strong and devout in his beliefs, you know, and he will, as Clark, stand up for everything he believes in until, you know, he needs to get involved as Superman because people are in danger at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I would give him that. I, you know, from my experience with him, that's what that is right there.
I have, you know, when I look at his Superman and I look at the time that it came out, it's a 4.5. I mean, he is perfect for that time. The series I give a 4 out of 5. It's a great series. I mean, I guess I haven't finished it all, so I'm just now starting the color year. So 3.5 to 4, just because I haven't got to the color years yet, but we'll come back to it. But I bought it all on digital because they had a sale, and it was like not that much for the entire series on digital, and it was nice. Okay, we're going to jump to what is 1975. The ABC, It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's Superman television musical. Also known sometimes as Superman the Musical, because it's a different version than what is the stage play. And this is kind of like I said, like a made-for-TV kind of movie thing. I think it was on television. It is worth mentioning. It also, you know, my new close personal friend, David Wilson, is here as Superman. It was 1975, which is so interesting to think about because it's before the films. But actor David Wilson, born February 26, 1949, age when he started was 26. He was Superman for a year. He was 6'2", no episodes, no seasons. All right. Out of 5 shields for the production of It's a Bird, It's a Plane, 1 shield. For David Wilson's Clark, 3 shields. For a Superman, 2.
And
that's
right. I'm gonna defer to you on that one. It's something that I've wanted to see, and I've seen like pop up on YouTube for me because I had looked it up in the past and everything. So I just haven't been able to watch the whole thing.
Yeah, you should just to experience it. You should just to say. But then we go to Superboy, later changed to The Adventures of Superboy. So it gets a little confusing. But it ran from 1988 to 1992. We have John Newton for season 1, who was 23. He was Superman for a year. He was born December 29th, 1965. He was 6 foot tall. The show ran for 4 seasons with 100 episodes. And then Superboy number 2 is Gerard Christopher, born 6/11/59. When he started as Superboy, he was 30.
Hmm.
And he went for 3 seasons. And what's crazy is because it's seasons 3 and 4 where it changes to the Adventures of Superboy,
Yeah.
and not at season 2 when Gerard starts to really kind of make it like a clean transition, you know.
Right.
So, all right, we've seen enough Superboy here, James. We have some Superboy.
Oh,
under our
we've watched an entire season with each.
Exactly. We're about to kick
So-
off season 3 here this month. So, Out of the Shields, as a series whole, I can't really speak to it because we haven't finished it yet. I finished it, but you haven't. I don't want to just always throw out my opinion. But as you're feeling right now, what would you give this series as a whole?
I mean, the series as a whole, I would give it about, I would say a 3. You know, very middle of the road. I give it a 3 because there's plenty of episodes where, you know, you're watching a bit of 80s early 90s TV, you
Yeah.
know, and then there are some episodes where that is horrendously apparent and it's awful. So, I mean, you're not getting 5, you know, any 5-star episodes, but
I would
you could easily
settle on
get
3.
a decent amount of 3. So no, I said 3. I mean 2.5 because we're right there in the middle. That's what I mean.
Okay.
It's 2.5, right down the middle for the show.
So, what at this point right now, what would you rate John as Superboy? Why am I so tired?
You know, I guess I would give him John just because you know, we just finished season 1, and I mean, for the most part, we liked his Clark and his Superboy. I'd give him a 3.
Yeah, I give him a 3, and as of right now, I give Gerard a 2.
I was gonna give him a 2.5,
And
but that's
thi-
without
look-
seeing season 3 and 4.
and if I factor in 3 and 4, he kicks up to like a 3.
Plus,
Yeah.
when did we finish season 2? It was back on when it was on Tubi, so
Yeah.
that was quite some time ago. So I'm really distanced from Gerard at the moment.
We're gonna get back into it. So, all right.
Yeah.
So look, so our next, you know, and like, you know, if we look at the Adventures of Superman's like a procedure, it's not procedural, it's a crime show, very early days of television. You know, Superboy was more serialized. It wasn't a very strong narrative, but just random episodes, some 2-parters later on as the series went. You know, the first 2 seasons are him in college. I guess he got a 2-year degree. But then we really start to take shape in 1992 with Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, which ran from 1992 to 1997. Would star Dean Cain as the Man of Steel for 4 years. Dean Cain's height has been described as 5'11.5" to 6 foot. I'm just going to say 6 foot. Give him the benefit of the doubt. He was,
If not, he probably had some boots with a little bit of a thicker heel on it.
he was born July 31st, 1966. He was 26 when he starred as Superman. Superman at 26, while Gerard is 30 doing Superboy.
Right. And barely looked any older than John Newton,
Oh, I know.
who was 23.
So,
You'd say maybe he was 26 at
Right,
most.
right.
You know what I mean?
episodes, 88 episodes. And this is where they take the narrative, and this is where they really bring in, you know, this is our first time introducing on television a really strong love story between Superman and Lois. You know, we didn't really have a love story in the George Reeves series. It's a flirtation in the musical, and then we had Lana in a weird friendship, love dynamic in Superboy. But here we are. What Shield ranking? Oh, before I say that, like, you know, the idea was kind of like a romantic comedy type thing with Superman, which was a nice little spin on how to present the material. So, what do you give our Shield ranking for the series and for Dean Cain?
Oh man, so you know, growing up on this series, I always loved Lois and Clark. There was a time late high school, and maybe right after graduation, where I would get up early to watch Lois and Clark on, like, I think it was TNT in the morning. It's like 7 a.m. But yeah, I do that. So, you know, I really love the first season of the show. I'm fairly distant on the later seasons 3 and 4.
I have watched.
I've been looking at trying to watch some of that.
I have watched them. It's been a while.
I watched them when they were live. I watched the series finale when it was live.
So did I. But when Jania and I moved back in 2018, before they got our internet and cable, or not cable, our internet and hooked up, all I had were DVDs, our DVD player, and I were watching Lois and Clark. So we did season 3 and everything. So I have not watched it all in a long time. So in the future, when you and I get there together, I look forward to it.
Yeah, actually I do. I look forward to it, getting to go through it and review it, like we've done a number of shows already. So
once we get,
anyway, we got finished. Yep, we got 2 seasons of that left. But no, as a series, you know, I want to give it a 3.5. And I think I'm going to give Dean Cain the same.
You know what? I cannot go against that.
You know, Dean Cain, you know, no matter what reality is these days and everything, you know, I grew up watching Dean Cain a lot as Superman. I thought he did a great job as Superman and as Clark Kent. You know, his Clark was very much like George Reeves in a way. You know, there was a confidence. There was a snarkiness and a sarcastic way about him. It wasn't he was just himself, you know. That's the way I had always kind of seen Clark, is more of himself kind of a thing, not necessarily a mask to make people look the other way, not even think you could possibly be him, that you could possibly be Superman. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I always liked his Dean Cain's Clark and him in that show.
I mean, you know, it's interesting because we had these other versions as we were growing up, but this was the one that, you know, is new when we were at just the right age to really hit us, you know, to being Superman.
And Terry Hatcher was Lois Lane at the right time.
Yes. That's why we went to see James Bond. Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yes, it is.
So, reasons. All right. Then came this little show. Maybe you've heard of it. That ran from 2001 to 2011 on the CWWB. Lasted for 10 years, starring 24-year-old Tom Welling. Little show called Smallville. 217 episodes, 10 seasons. Tom was born April 26, 77, and he was 6'3". This show just kind of was a revolution to us. Hitting at the right time.
I think to the character of Clark and Superman.
Yep. And, this is a tricky one. Some people say he never played Superman. It depends on how you define the character. If it's separate people or one person, you know what I'm saying?
The argument. Yeah, the argument that he never played Superman is superfluous when it comes to that. Because he absolutely did.
Mm-hmm.
By the end, the 10th season, he is standing up as leader of the team. He is the role model for the rest of the league, as it were, to look up to, the one that everybody aspired to be like, whether they were a hero or some other person who was close to Clark, a friend, and however, family, friend. He inspired everybody. He absolutely played Superman in the show. Just because he never wore the suit,
he wore his own version of suits.
Yeah, he grew into the character of Superman throughout that show, and he absolutely was.
Can't say it any better myself. So, James, why don't you go ahead and rank this for us?
Smallville is easily a 4. And the only reason I don't give it a 4.5 is I think because it was a long running higher.
Mm-hmm.
It was a long running show with a lot of episodes per season at that time, so we got a lot of filler episodes, and some of them didn't stack up to some of the greatest episodes of the show, but there were some really, really great episodes.
Mm-hmm.
It was extremely formative, so the series absolutely a 4.
So I agree. I think Tom, he gets a 4 for me for the character. And the show, same thing. It's like a 4.5 for me. But
there you go.
It's great. It's getting there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just little things here and there. But sometimes, like we talked about, the longer a show goes for, it starts to have its faults.
Yeah. I mean, the show has its faults with continuity and things like that. Some issues with long-running show. I think, honestly, the thing that does hurt it is the fact that it was at that time where a full season had to be 22 to 24 episodes long.
I think
was the standard for so long.
I think 15 to 16 is a sweet spot, with some one shots. Like, Janine and I have been watching Daredevil Born Again, and I've enjoyed it, but my favorite episode was the one shot in the bank, because I missed that kind of an episode where we're just with the character doing something, where we're not so locked into whatever the overarching seasonal plot is.
Yeah, a bottle episode.
And, well, bottled usually means it is a bottled episode, but bottled usually is like the same sets. Like if it was all set in like Matt's apartment or Matt's law firm, like as an established set, then it's more bottled. Like it's tricky because like, you know, the Flash had some bottle episodes where they were all stuck at Star Labs. You know,
Right.
it's the same. Like we're not spending money on a different set or location. We're just in this set that we own.
Right.
So, but I just miss when that would happen.
Yeah. I do think that sometimes there is too much of a focus on having to have a full season arc where every single episode is like a next step or a next chapter, or I feel like they can be like the bank episode and still further a part of the series or season without having to be fully connected and just be, you know, like you can't watch the next episode because you haven't seen this one. Honestly,
Right.
if it's the bank one, you can see that one and you'd be like, oh.
It's just
But the
it's
bank one
weird.
was also really cool, tying to Miss Marvel the way it did. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that because I just like it was organic and it was just nice to see how the world's connected without it feeling forced. Just having, you know, Yusuf Khan there. I liked it. All right. This one gets a little tricky because we have the show Superman and Lois, which ran from 2001 to 2024. The actor was Tyler Hoechlin, born 9/11/87. The age he started, he was 29, but he was Superman for 8 years. His height was 6 foot. He appeared episodes of 53 episodes of Superman and Lois. From 2016 or from 2016 to 2019, he did one episode of Legends of Tomorrow, 2 episodes of Arrow, 2 of The Flash, 1 Batwoman, and 6 episodes of Supergirl. So he's the only actor in here technically to play 2 different versions of Superman. As far as like not possessed or anything like that, but like,
well, you know what? Can't say that necessarily. I mean, Tom Welling got to play an alternate version of himself on another Earth.
He did, but that wasn't Superman. That was Ultraman.
Yes.
Their version of Ultraman. But he was 2 versions of Superman correctly. He wasn't Bizarro. He wasn't an altered clone. He was Superman from 2 different Earths. The Supergirl Earth, and then the Earth that
because if we do that, I mean, because he did Bizarro. I mean, Tom did a Bizarro. Dean did a Bizarro.
I know what I'm saying. I don't count those, and I mean, I don't count Tyler playing the version of Superman where he's what's his face with the Deacon with the Book of Destiny, you know, and he's in the black suit.
Oh, right.
You know, but then he also played the evil Superman that kills Lois on another Earth too. You know what I'm saying? So, but we'll look at Tyler's Superman, and we'll dial more into the Superman and Loisism. It's a 4.5 for me, almost a 5, but it's a 4.5. And I don't want to say a 5 because I don't want to be biased because I feel like he didn't get to do as much as he could, but it's tipping that way for me.
Especially with the dwindling budget.
Yeah. His Clark was great. And I think one of the things about Clark is there's Clark interacting with the general public that I think is something that has to be addressed, but then you have Clark with his family, you know, you have the dad aspect. I think Tyler did amazing. And Superman and Lois as a show, I give it a 4.5. Almost a full 5. because I think it's a really solid show. It was able to navigate around a lot of the tropes that shows like this fall in. But the dwindling budget didn't help, but it didn't really let the show suffer as much as it could have. So I'm going with a 4.5.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of right there with you. I mean, as much as I said Smallville was formative during those years, and the love that we have for Tom Welling and his version of Clark and Superman, Tyler is that now. We're parents. He's older. His family is dealing with family stuff and life and trauma, and it was just really good. It was a great show, and he did a great job. You know, I give the show a 4.5, and I mean, honestly, I think if we would have gotten to see him do more, it would have been just as good. If they were able to do more, if they had more of a budget. I mean, I give Tyler a 4.5 as Superman and Clark.
Yeah.
I liked his Clark. You know, the thing is, Clark, especially after they got into it in season 4, Clark didn't have very many friends. And when it came to social interaction with other people, he avoided most of it. So in his life, just socially, his social norm is awkward.
Yep.
And I think that works really well. And it's only with the people that he's comfortable with. So I think he's still Clark with his social norm being kind of awkward. It's not like a mask. It's still him. He's socially awkward because he's always been alone and distanced from people. So I think I've always liked that. Like I said, Clark is still always really Clark. It's and he's always Superman. He just plays up that role in front of people. Like he's the same person most of the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just with
No,
those
totally.
subtle differences, in my opinion.
Nope, you are completely correct. And you know, we predicted before that we thought Superman and Lois would end, you know, in like spring of 2025, making way for the new Superman. We just kind of we thought we'd get one more season. You know, we were being optimistic, but because of everything that happened with the strikes and the budget and all that, we did not get that. So
ended on season 4.
But yeah, that's just kind of a quick history of Superman on television. Like I said, he's had a good long run on television.
And it's always fun to talk about things like this, you know, kind of see some gaps in stuff. You know, you don't see everything all the time, you know, but finding some of those gaps and being able to go back and fill in some of those things that you haven't seen in from the past. I look forward to doing that.
I think it's something neat to just see. You know, it's always easy to get caught up on what's in the movies, but we are very well-rounded in just experiencing every version of the character on books and mediums, and it's just, you know, it's a nice era to be a part of. And then the last thing to just note is Superman and Lois, the entire series, is out now on Blu-ray, and season 4 is out on Blu-ray. So I need to just buy season 4 and what do you call it? Season 2 on Blu-ray, because I have season 1 and 3 on Blu-ray. So I'll get them eventually.
Yeah. That show I only have digitally right now, so I have the whole thing digitally, but I need to definitely get it physically.
So, all right, but that's the show for today. I thought we'd go a little bit longer, but we kind of went through some of it. You never know how it's going to break down. So,
Hey, you know what? It's sometimes it's a good listening length.
yeah, our goal is to try to keep it about an hour, a little here, a little, maybe a little bit more, but let us know
we usually range between an hour and a half, but I think we've definitely talked for 2-3 hours.
we could, yeah. But all right, let us know your thoughts on the sneak peek. Are you more excited for Superman now? Are you less excited? How are you feeling? I look forward to reviewing more stuff this month as we go through it, and we'll be catching up on some comics here at the end of the month. So just remember,
Look up in the sky.
I am Brian Peters, the creator and host of Gravely Amusing. For the past 30 years, I've studied the history of gods and monsters in pop culture and our world. As a student of theology and history, I've tried to understand evil and its impact on us. As a writer, I've tried to share this knowledge. As a comedian, I've tried to make people laugh as I do it. But as a man-child, I'm still that scared 7-year-old boy. Join me as I share the history of horror and sci-fi, discuss classic and modern pop culture, and share a creepy story or two. This podcast may scare you, it may horrify you, or it may leave you gravely amused. Listen to Gravely Amusing on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and wherever podcasts are found. Follow us on Twitter at @gravely_amusing or on TikTok @gravely amusing.